Maya ma'am, your voice is not here.
Yes.
Maya ma'am, yes, yes. Please continue, ma'am.
Okay.
Continue, ma'am. Continue, please.
Uh, Very good afternoon and namaskar, our esteemed dignitaries and respected speaker, Professor Naushad Ali sir, and all participants. On behalf of the Gautam Buddha University, Greater Noida, and Bharat Digital Academy, I welcome you all in sixth day of faculty development program. Today is last day for gaining the knowledge from our resource person. However, program will continue tomorrow for closing ceremony and presentation. Without any further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Priya Baid to initiate the session. Dr. Priya Baid, over to
Yeah,
you.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for introducing me. And as my ma'am has introduced me, and I have the honor and privilege of hosting today's insightful online session and introducing a renowned alliance professional and a humble personality who will going to share his unparalleled expertise and insights to further enhance our teaching practices and professional development. So similarly, yesterday we had Dr. Dilara Begum from Bangladesh with us, and she has ignited our research minds to use, reuse all the tools, technologies, and research techniques provided by the respective libraries. She has beautifully emphasized the importance of all the library services and support and its role in research, and she has elaborated the existing impressive and innovative library tools and techniques and programs for researchers adopted at East West Universities, Bangladesh. So now today I'm having the honor to introduce an esteemed personality and also my PhD supervisor and today's expert, Professor Naushad Ali PM. So regarding him, he is presently working as a professor in the Department of Library and Information Science, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, and he is having a rich experience of over 25 years of teaching and research experience. He has also served as a chairman of the Department of Library and Information Science from 2009 to 2012. Being a promising researcher and voracious writer, Professor Ali has published 6 books and over 95 research papers in national and international journals and conference proceedings. He has presented about 70 research papers at national and international conferences and seminars. He has supervised 19 PhDs, 2 MPhils, and 86 MLib ISc dissertations also. He has completed 7 major research projects funded by the Department of Science and Technology, the Indian Council of Social Science Research ICSSR, the Indian Council of Cultural Relations, and the University Grants Commission. He was the deputy coordinator of his brainchild project, Knowledge Management in Library, sanctioned by University Grants Commission under the SAP scheme. He is the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Knowledge and Communication Management. So he has received over 15 national and international awards, travel grants, and visited many countries for accomplishing the academic assignments. Professor Ali is also an active member of national and international professional bodies like the International Council of Knowledge Management, the International Association of Computer Science and Information Technology, the American Society for Research, ISCO, ILA, ISLIC, ITLIS, etc. Currently, he is the Vice President of the Indian Association of Teachers of Library Information Science. So, sir, we are honored to have you today as a guiding light in our pursuit of excellence in education and research. Your wealth of knowledge and experience in information management, knowledge management, e-publishing, and implementation of library services are invaluable insights into the future of library research and education. Yeah, am I audible? Okay, so without further ado, I would like to invite you to take the stage and shower your words of wisdom. We are ready to learn from your expertise and embark on a journey of professional growth and development. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Priya, and for giving us introduction, and Dr. Maya Devi for giving me initial introduction about me. And I also thank Dr. Rafiq for Director Bharat Digital Academy for organizing a wonderful FDP program for the library and information professionals. So, what I'm seeing some of our participants, some of them are known to me, and all are the specialized and are having experience in librarians. Okay, so this last 5 days, we had a lot of discussions, deliberations, and lectures on different topics, which will be supporting the theme of the FDP, that is research library support for the research. So for adding some more points on that, so the topic which is assigned by Dr. Maya Devi and Mr. Rafiq as a coordinators, and for lecture they given me the topic, that is library ethics and research ethics for the librarians. Okay, so once you think about the ethics, okay, what we will be remembering various themes, like what will be the term which will be some related terms which will be come to in our mind if you think about the ethics. So what is an ethics? I would like to have our audience, what do you mean by ethics? Do you have any idea about ethics? Any idea about the ethics? Generally, we will be saying you should be ethical to your research, or you will be ethical to your profession. So the term which will be coming up is we should be honest. We should be honest to our profession. We should be honest to our research. So honesty is a one term which we generally we used to have, be connected with the. Similarly, many things which will be having about the library ethics. So, being a librarian, I am hope you all we are exploring the concept of all of we are following the library ethics in our profession, and most of them are they might have completed their PhD, and some of you already doing the research in the field. So we all are following the research ethics in our day-to-day life. But in our being a librarian, it is become our responsibility to provide this research ethics and ethical information or knowledge to our library professionals. Not only other library fellow professionals, as well as other faculty members, research scholars, and others, we have to make them aware about what is a research ethics and our library ethics, which you have to follow. So this is a simple and humble attempt. We can have a discussion about how this research ethics will be. We have to be follow the research ethics in our day-to-day life. Then, before starting my session, I would like to apologize for my delay in joining because of some personal reasons. I have stuck up to some other place, so I have to rush to my house and start this lecture here. So I'm very sorry for delaying around 15 to 20 minutes. So just I'm trying to share my PPT on library ethics and research ethics. Share screen. Suggest I'm waiting for this. Fine. The file is some big size, which is like. Okay, by the time I would like to have an interaction with our participants. I can see some of them are very familiar to me. Dr. Minimo, I think you're from Kerala, Dr. Minimo.
Yes, sir. I am from University of Calicut.
University of Calicut. Okay, you're working there in the University of Calicut.
Okay,
In
sir.
the library. Okay, good.
Right.
Okay, Dr. Kishore Kumar, you from which place? I think Kishore is not there, or he's in mute, I think. Or Jacqueline is there. Okay, how are you, Jacqueline? Jacqueline is from Shillong, Northeast University, isn't it? Or Ragesh Kumar, which place you belongs to? Yes, Rajesh Kumar. Voice is not there. Okay, Rajesh Kumar is here, or is CG Jose Nellikan? Shobhayaji Gupta, Sudhir Kaur. I think these people from both Northeast Kerala and Northern India. I think I've seen some people from North India also. So it's a good mixture of the people. Okay, you might have a very good library experience also. Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us start. What is library ethics and research ethics? It's a topic which we are going to discuss. This is agenda for today. What is ethics? What is a professional ethics? And the professional ethics in librarianship. Code of ethics for librarians and information professionals. need of ethics for library information science professionals. And the American Library Association and IFLA also had contributed for developing the ethical code for library information professionals. So we are also discussing about the what is ELA and IFLA have made the professional contest for. And the research ethics and the plagiarism and DBC guidelines 2018. Okay, these are things which we are going to discuss today. So it is a very big topic. So let us have a very fast introduction. If you say about the ethics that I told you, asked you in the beginning, if you say think about ethics, so the word it was started or it was derived from the Greek word ethos. This means custom or character. Okay, so it is a set of normal principle that governs a person's conduct, behavior, character, fairness, humbleness, morality, values, commitment, duties to self-improvement. Okay, and it is an obligation to the profession. In general, ethics is a philosophical examination from a moral standpoint of particular issues, activities in private and public life that has matters of moral judgment. So it is a principles. Generally, we say about ethics. That means we say about our that character, customs, moral principles, behavior, our conduct, and fairness, humbleness. Everything it will be the part of ethics. So a lot of things which have to be think about if we say about what is the ethics. And a professional means a person who has a knowledge of some specific fields. Professional ethics encompasses personal, organizational, and corporate standards of behavior expected of the professionals. So in this case, what you'll say, we all are professionals now. We having the knowledge of a specific field like library information science, and it is encompass the personal, organizational, and corporate standard of behavior of our professionals. So then one more point we can say professional ethics examines ethical principles and moral or ethical problems that arise in a professional environment. It applies to all aspects of business conduct and is relevant to the conduct of individuals and entire organizations. Okay. So it will generally any professional ethics, it will give you ethical principles and moral or ethical problems. And ethical codes are established for those professionals which require a high level of ethical practice. So these are the ethical principles for library professionals. So what is our responsibility as a librarian? So what are our moral responsibility? Professionals encourage the shaping of opinion and the free flow of information, as well as the existence of libraries and information services to facilitate free access to all kinds of information resources provided by our democratic society. Okay, so this is a very important responsibility of a librarian. We have to encourage our professionals to encourage the shaping opinion and free flow of information, as well as the existence of libraries and information services. Okay, so nowadays, the libraries are facing the challenge because of this Google or internet. Now we can say the artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and other information sources and resources. So this is our responsibility now to keep our library live and to provide free access to all kinds of information. And library professionals should support science and research by providing information, resources, and related services to promote the freedom of science and research. Okay, this is what we all are doing it. We are promoting the research and we are promoting the science in our institution or where our parent organizations where we are working. And the library professionals organize events to promote reading and active use of information alone and in cooperation with partners. This is also very simply we also are doing. We are organizing webinars, programs like Dr. Maya Devi is organized now. It's a faculty development programs. It is our moral responsibility to promote our reading and other active use of information among the users. And library professionals' relationship with suppliers and other business partners is based on high ethical standards. Okay, so we have to be a librarian. We have to not only deal with the users like teachers or students, but we also deal with our suppliers or other business partners or distributors, publishers, software engineers. A lot of people we have to be having interaction with them. So always we should keep our high ethical standard. And the code of ethics of librarians and library professionals. So here we can see, according to the American Library Association, a code of ethics serves in making known to the profession and to the general public the ethical principles that guide the work of librarians, other professionals providing information services, library trustees, and library staffs. This is according to the American Library Association. The Yellow Code of Professional Ethics was adopted in 1939 and the last amended in January 22, 2008. It recognizes that ethical dilemmas occurs when values are in conflict. It states the values to which we are committed to embodies the ethical responsibilities of the profession in this changing information world. And ALA could provide the highest level of service to all library users through appropriate and usefully organized resources, equitable service policies, equitable access, and accurate, unbiased, and courteous responses to all requests. Okay, so this is another responsibility which we have. Next, we can say ALA could protect library users' right to privacy and confidentiality with respect to information sought or received and resources consulted, borrowed, acquired, or transmitted. It upholds the principles of intellectual freedom and resists all efforts to censor library resources. Okay, so they also protect the library users' right to privacy and confidentiality. So this ALA code of conduct for the code of ethics of library information professionals, it is available on the ALA website. I think every library professionals, they should read it, and we should adopt some points which will be adoptable for our university or our Indian library system. And I think this should be included in our library curriculum, library science curriculum also. And similarly, IFLA also had their own IFLA code of ethics for librarians and other information workers. So the code, according to this IFLA, the code of ethics and professional conduct is offered as a series of ethical propositions for the guidance of individual librarians as well as the other information workers, and for the consideration of library and information associations when creating or revising their own code. And the functions of code of ethics can be described as access to information and responsibilities towards individuals and society. Yet remember one thing, the librarian, we have the responsibility towards not only individual users, to society also. So in that cases, this code of conduct of IFLA on code of ethics of library information professionals, which is clearly describes as the access to information and responsibility, how to access information to the users, and the responsibility towards individuals and society in order to promote inclusion and eradicate discrimination. Librarians and other information workers ensure that the right of accessing information is not denied and that equitable services are provided for everyone. And Another things which is discussing in the CIFLA code for Code of Ethics for Librarians Information Sciences, the librarians and other information workers respect personal privacy and the protection of personal data necessarily shared between individuals and institutions. They support and participate in transparency so that the working of government, administration, and business are open to the scrutiny of general public. Okay, so here this point, which is giving emphasizing on providing the personal privacy to users and the other staff who's working in our library information field. And we should necessarily share between that personal data and other things. We take very careful while sharing. They support and participate in transparency so that the working of government, administration, business are open to scrutiny of general public. And the librarians and other information workers encourage governments to establish an intellectual property regime that appropriately respect balance between the interest of right holders and individuals and the institutions such as libraries which serve them. It is advocate that copyright terms should be limited and that information that has fallen into the public domain remains public and free. So some cases we librarians also having the reluctance to provide the information to the public about the library services, use of information, access to information, other things. So that is saying that according to the IFLA Code of Conduct, the librarian should provide whatever the things which can provide to the public. It should be put in public domain and it should be remain always public and free access to the users. And one more point which is discussing in the IFLA Code of Ethics of Library is that librarians and other information workers are strictly committed to neutrality and an unbiased stance regarding collection, access, and services. Okay, so I think we always having we strictly follow the neutrality, and we are not showing any discrimination or biasness towards any group. Neutrality results in the most balanced collection, most balanced access to information achievable. This is what we are teaching in at the level of BLS itself. When you have to go for the collection development, library is a growing organism, and library should have a balanced growth. That means you should have a balanced collection, balanced access to information that can be achievable. They aim at the highest quality of service, and thus promote the positive reputation of the profession. They do not compete with colleagues by the use of unfair methods. And Code of Ethics focus on few key points. Now remember, there are some points which you can say: ethics towards users, ethics towards the profession, ethics towards colleagues, ethics towards organization, and ethics towards society. Okay, so these points which you have to be remember: ethics towards users, ethics towards profession, ethics towards colleagues, ethics towards organization, ethics towards society. Users means we have to be perpetuate the good relationship between library and its users, and towards the profession, that means we have to ensure the responsibility for the development of the profession and to promote excellence amongst the library professionals. And we should have ethics towards our colleagues also, to strengthen the cooperation among library professionals and to increase good relationship with colleagues and other members of the profession. Ethics towards the organization, to uphold and give due respect to the library as an integral part of the organization or institution. Ethics towards society, to affirm the library status and roles in providing information for the advancement of society. In my personal opinion, I think this 5 ethics which a librarian should follow, that should be, we should keep in our library. We should make a poster for that, and we should keep in the library. What are that will be giving a remembrance, or it will be pointing you. This is we have to follow the ethics, and we should have our ethics towards our users, our professionals, colleagues, organization, in the society. This will help you to give a better service to our users. And need of ethics for library information science professionals. We can say LIS profession is for public service. Therefore, it's required highest standards of honesty. And we should give integrity and care. Okay, so library profession, because so I know most of us are chosen this profession maybe by chance, but after taking this profession as a BLIC and MLIC, once you join the BLIC and you start love to our profession for our library science, and after completing MLIC and you wish to do research and you start working on this profession, so now we are providing a public service to our society. So we should it should record a highest standard of honesty, integrity, and the character. Only those persons should be encouraged to enter this profession who are interested to help others. Okay, we generally say every professional should love to read books and love to provide the service to our users and to provide effective service with the help of new technologies in information explosion and law. And other point we can say, library professionals must keep service orientation in their professional work. But for this, high principle conduct should be framed to guide them. A code of ethics is essential to library professionals, which lead to profession to excellence. Okay, so if you want to provide a best service orientation to our professionals, we should have a good professional ethical code. And the main object of the code of conduct is to guide library professionals in maintaining standards of ethical behavior in their relationship with users, colleagues, society, information resources, and oneself. It helps to build a strong moral and ethical foundation of the LA's profession in the information society. Once you need a respect from the society, from the people, so we should follow this library ethics throughout our professional life. Okay, so that is why it is showing if you have a ethical code. I think most of the libraries are not displaying such a type of code of ethics for the library professionals. We should keep it, and this will be helping to maintain the standard of ethical behavior in their relationship with users, colleagues, society, and information resources. And there are many ethical issues that LIS professionals must deal with when providing information service for libraries. Issues relating to equity of access, intellectual freedom, censorship, accuracy, intellectual property, etc. The major ethical challenges of library professionals in the information era. Okay, so again, library professionals, we should take care of issues related to equity of access, intellectual freedom, censorship, privacy, because we have to deal with many users, many resources, many documents, online and printed materials. Sometimes we have to follow our library, what we can say, books and photostat, duplication of copies, and we have to follow maintaining the thesis and other resources. So we have to be very much high standard of ethical. We have to be maintained. And strategies for fostering an ethical culture within libraries. One is combating misinformation, because this is a very challenging, another challenge for librarians. We have to clarify, we have to be clear what is misinformation and which is true information. Many sources and maybe different agencies and sources, intentionally or unintentionally, they're producing a lot of misinformation from the society. Okay, so that may create a lot of problems for the society, and it will create some unrest among the people. So that is why it is the responsibility of the librarians to should empower themselves to become subject matter experts within their community. So certification, training, and librarian and user engagement. Okay, we should ensure the research integrity, and Elsevier has created the best practices and resources for librarians to enhance their understanding of the environment. So there is another responsibility within the librarians we have to follow. We have to have the strategies for fostering this ethical culture. Another point you have to remember is supporting good research practices, because as you know, library is a heart of our university education, and any research organizations, we can say, it will be acting as a heart for that particular institutions, because it is a supporting, it is giving the medicine for the research, it is providing the literature, materials, resources, and techniques for the research. So libraries consider, as earlier lectures you must have seen, libraries consider as a research center. So there is a strategy how to foster for the librarians. They have to have we have to play more active role in the manuscript publications, process to establish closer, more collaborative relationship with the patrons and faculty. This can be achieved by ensuring that there are provided with the training and education to understand the different means of scientific publications. Okay, so let us have next. This is what we have to follow in our research ethics. Okay, just take 1 minute, right? So, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now we are going to discuss about the ethical principles. Research ethics, I told you, every ethics we should have that what you can say, honesty, objectivity, integrity, and other things. So in this case of research ethics, if you are doing a research, we should have a honesty in report of data, a result, methods and procedures, and publication status. Do not fabricate, falsify, or misrepresent our data. Okay, and objectivity, that is you have to strive to avoid bias in experimental design, data analysis, data interpretation, peer review, personal decisions, grant writing, and expert testimony and other aspects of research. We should have our objectivity to follow. We should avoid any biasness in our research, data analysis, and other part. And integrity, keep your promises and agreements, act with sincerity, strive for consistency throughout our action. I think we all are following such things, but the thing is that this have to be, we have to convey our other professional colleagues and others for the researchers for doing this research. And we should have the carefulness to avoid careless errors and negligence, and carefully, critically in our own work and work for our peers. Keep good records of research activities. And another thing is that openness we have to fail, and we have to share our data. Don't keep our data with us only. We should share data. We should share our research, share our ideas, tools, etc. And we should always respect for intellectual property. Okay, this is nowadays it's very difficult to have to follow, but this is very essential, and this is a very important aspects we have to follow our intellectual property right. Okay, that means you have to honor the patents, copyright, and other forms of intellectual property. And other principle we can say confidentiality, responsible publications, responsible mentoring is also another thing we librarians have to do. We generally will say librarians are the teacher of teachers. Okay, so we have to help to educate, mentor, and advise students, promote their welfare, and allow them to make their own decisions. Okay, we should act as a mentor. As a researcher, it should be high responsibility of as a researcher. We should help to educate, mentor, and advise our students, and respect our colleagues. Okay, and social responsibility. We should strive to promote social good and prevent to mitigate social harms to research, public education, and other things. Non-discrimination, or avoid discrimination against colleagues or students on the basis of sex, race, ethnicity, or other factors. And competency, maintain and improve your own professional competency and expertise through lifelong education. And legality, you should know and obey relevant laws and institutional government policies. And you should take animal care. If you research, animals are involved in your research, you should take care of animals when using them in the research. And human subject protection is also there. When conducting research on human subjects, minimize harms and risk and maximize benefit, respect human dignity, privacy, and autonomy. So these are the things we have to follow. This is we calling as a research ethical principles we have to follow. And there are many countries, they have their research ethics and they have their own guidelines. For example, APA, American Psychological Association, they have the 5 principles for research ethics. I think if you have time, you should read that 5 principles for research ethics. And UK, they have the Economic and Social Research Council, the Research Ethics Guidebook, a resource for social scientists, ethical guidelines for good research practice, Australian Code for Responsible Conduct of Research, and SCRC framework for research ethics. So there are many countries, they have their own research conduct. Then we have these 5 principles of research ethics of APA. It is discussing about the intellectual property, and be conscious about multiple roles, follow informed and consent rules, respect confidentiality and privacy, tap into ethics resources. I think you can visit apa.org. You may find these rules. Okay, so and now we are thinking about the different countries. You said we having research ethical codes. What about India? So Indian context, we started very recently for working for ethical issues and other things, because we're facing a lot of issues regarding library, probably not only library research purposes. We are facing a lot of ethical issues from the students and teachers. Most of the then government found that most of the problems and issues which is rising, which is having copyright issues or plagiarism, other things, most of them are the cause is because of the unawareness about this. People are not aware about all these research ethical values. That is why government has decided, UGC Ministry has decided, with the help of University Grants Commission, we should take some initiative to follow our ethical issues. Okay, for that purposes, University Grants Commission has taken many initiatives. I think most of our researchers, our library professionals, they're having some idea about that. This UGC has published a guidance document, Good Academic Research Practices, in September 2020. Okay, and that is a very good book. It is available at the website I have already given here. It is available free of cost. You can download it. You can just Google guide document for good academic research practices were published by UGC. And you should do it is giving very details about what a researcher should follow, ethics, what ethics you have to follow in our research. And UGC also started UGC, that means our research PhD programs of universities. They started 2-credit course of compulsory for PhD students. Okay, now they already started. It is discussing about the ethics and publication ethics, research ethics, and other aspects. There are 2-credit course introduced by the UGC for the researchers. And to improve this research quality, publication quality, UGC has prepared a list of UGC approved list of journals. Generally, we calling as a UGC care list. Okay, it is also available on public domain. You can access what are the journals are available in the UGC care list, and you can also have in the list of journals which is available in the Scopus Index in various subjects. Okay, so that will be helping by the UGC, and UGC also initiated a good another program that Shuddhi, enhance the research quality. That means most of the researchers and teachers, they don't have the facility to scan the research work. That means checking the plagiarism for the research publications before they're going to publish it. So that is why they're having a platform, common platform, Shuddhi. There you can, researchers, they can take benefit of checking the plagiarism from the Shuddhi. http shuddhi.internet.ac.in. You will be getting the all platform there. There you can have platform for checking the plagiarism. So that means you can send that document to them. You can have that plagiarism. Okay, there are many institutions and many libraries involved with the shotgun. Almost all researchers or our librarians know what is shotgun. It is a repository of thesis which has been published by Indian universities. Okay, there are many theses, more than 3.5 lakhs theses are available on shotgun, and you can different subjects you can have. You can around 20 top 20 subject. You can see 3 lakh theses are available. So it will be very much useful for the researchers to have the access to the thesis. Okay, so it will be automatically, it will improve the quality, or it will be strengthen the research ethics, because once you're copying something and you're putting in the shotgun, it is publicly domain, it is available to the public domain. So it is also a good initiative by UGC to maintain our research ethics. Okay, so these are some initiatives by the University Commissions. Now let us think about what is a research misconduct, because if you think about the research ethics, that means you have to follow the honesty. What are the research misconduct which we generally follow? We, our researchers or our research scholars, what are they doing? There are 3 things are there, very common things. There are other things also, there are misconduct out there, but there are 3 main things are there. One is a fabrication, falsification, or a plagiarism. Okay, these 3 things we have to be take care of. What is a fabrication? Fabrication is an intentional act of making up data or result and recording or reporting them. Okay, we are just preparing fabricating the research. We are doing the research with fabricating the data. Okay, just making up data for result and recording and reporting, which falsely you are doing. Okay, so in the social sciences and some biological sciences also, we can see some researchers, if they don't have time to get the data, so what they do, they will be preparing that fictitious subject they will making, and themselves they were creating a fake data creating. It is creating very critical issues in our research area, fabricating data. It is unethical practice, which if you are a researcher. And falsification is another commonly doing the misconduct is falsification. It is manipulating research materials, equipments, or processes for changing or omitting or suppressing data or result without scientific or statistical justification. Okay, sometimes we can omit our data because if you have some scientific reasoning, we can remove it. But other without any scientific justification, you suppressing data, changing data, or changing the research, manipulating the research materials. Okay, so this type of things we are calling as a falsification. Okay, so falsification including the alteration of data to render a modification of the variances in the data, misrepresenting the result from the statistical analysis, misrepresenting the methods of an experiment, such as model used to conduct experiment. So such a type of things which you are doing is additional or false information, misleading statements, and you are altering data, altering equipments, changing the suppressing data. All these things we can conclude the falsifications. So this we have to be avoid. And being a librarian, we should discourage our researchers, research scholars, if they do such type of activities. And another very common thing which you are nowadays, which your librarians and the researchers and the faculty members are facing is the plagiarism. Okay, what is a plagiarism? In a simple word, we can say plagiarism is a adoption or reduction of ideas or words or statements of another person without due acknowledgement. Without due acknowledgement, if you are taking somebody's material and you are producing in your research work, which is indicate or which is it look like this is your own work. Okay, so this is a plagiarism. Okay, it is a punishable offense. So these are the other, apart from this, you can see there are other misconduct. You can see research and publication ethics, which is one is like a salami slicing, duplicate submission, no informed consent, simultaneous submissions, non-disclosure of safety procedure, conflicts of interest, authorship issues, data falsification, plagiarism, data fabrication, image manipulation, copyright infringement, no permission for data or information usage. Okay, so these are things which you can, I think there is no need of much explanation about all these points. We already said about the data falsification, data fabrications, or image manipulation. We are manipulating the images taken from different places, and you are manipulating according to, nowadays many softwares are available. You can manipulate according to our own interest. Or copyright infringement, some copyright materials are there, photographs are there, contents are there, recursions are there, that we are taking without the permission, or no permission for data or information usage. Without permission, we are taking data, scale, questionnaire, and you are using it. Salami slicing means if you doing a research for one topic and you are slicing into different papers, different areas. Okay, that you are calling a salami slicing. So that is sometimes you don't give a clear picture about that. Or duplicate submission, or no informed consent. I think these are things which you are already familiar with. So these are things which you can see we have to be this common misconduct which I see. Okay. And if you discuss about the plagiarism, I think most of you are known about that things. Just I can go through it just because I have to discuss about the UGC regulation 2018. That is why. Just I say what is a plagiarism? It is started from the Latin word. I think ethics it is started with a Greek word. Now plagiarism comes from the Latin word. So it's plagia, that means to kidnap. You are kidnapping the concept, kidnapping the ideas. Okay, so plagiarism, simply you can say, is an act of presenting the work of another as your own. If you use the work of someone else knowingly or inadvertently and claim it as your own creation, you are committing an act of plagiarism. This is, I told you, it is a punishable offense. If we are doing intentionally or unintentionally, if something that plagiarism content is there, it may create problem for us. Okay, there will be another concept of self-plagiarism is that means if you are, because you are working on topic and you are say publishing same material from different publications. Okay, so okay, sometimes if once the article is published on topic, you can pick up. Okay, let me continue. So what is self-plagiarism? Okay, so because you're publishing whatever you previously published materials or content, you are producing it again for as a new publications. Okay, so this is a self-plagiarism. But this is a debatable issue. We can do self-plagiarism or not. According to my opinion, we can publish things or content or something. Some areas, if you wanted to produce, which you want support for your new publications, you can use it. That things, but that you have to acknowledge it. Okay, this is the content which I've taken from my previous publications. Okay, in that cases there will be no legal issues. Do you have to cite everything? We have whatever you are publishing that you have to cite. So no, we have to only the facts that are widely known things are there, or the information or judgment concerns common knowledge. Okay, everybody knows the things. Or for example, if the New Delhi is the capital of India, so everybody knows the things. I don't want to give any citation for that. Okay, so that cases you have to be citing that in that case. Otherwise, you have to be cite the document. Or generally, we'll say then why we are plagiarizing? Why academicians or students are plagiarizing? So there are many reasons for that. The working librarians already know. Sometimes you have to improve the API score. Sometimes you have to be there is a requirement for mandatory publication is you have to publish the material, or we have the peer pressure within the academic community, or sometimes we are hurried to publish. We have to publish the conferences or last date of publication is approaching. So we are hurried to publish, so that you have to do that. Or lack of understanding of seriousness of plagiarism, lack of strict academic discipline. Okay, or cut and paste culture of some people, or poor study habits and careless attitude, lack of referencing skills. Okay, so these are the some reasons that we can say the academicians or in our institutions we will find the plagiarism. Okay, so we have a lot of plagiarism detection tools are there. Earlier Orkund was, now it is known as original, iAuthenticate, Turnitin, plagiarism checker, Grammarly, Dupli-Checker, CopyLeaks, Plagiarism, PlagScan, PlagTracker. These are the some plagiarism software. You can approach a social do for that. It will also give you how to make how to check your similarity. Or you can see the strategies to reduce the plagiarism. Okay, there are different strategies to reduce plagiarism. One is you can the content which you're taking, you should put in somebody's content or ideas are there. You should put in the quotation. And you don't copy and paste the text in verbatim. If you are copying the same thing, even you are giving the acknowledgement also, then it will show the similarity. It will show the similarity percentage. So you have to be change the sentences. Or cite your own material. Okay, if you've taken some consent from your previous paper, you think it's my material, why should I cite for that? But if you have published it earlier, so you should have give the citation for that. Or manage your citations, both in text and reference. Or use plagiarism checkers. Okay, these are that ones. And quotations, quotations are the exact words of author copied directly from the source. Quotation must be cited. or being a librarian, and sometimes you have to go for the plagiarism checking also. I hope many of you also doing this plagiarism checking responsibility for your institution. So we are doing this plagiarism checking, and we are facing a lot of challenges for while checking the plagiarism. So you will find some inappropriate methods to use to avoid similarity percentage. Okay, some methods people are using it. They will be putting that content as a text. Okay, what they'll do, they will be put the content as an image. Okay, so yes, so what do they do? This you can see the two things are here. What do they do? They added some letter. Okay, some letter is added extra, and this letter you will see everywhere the exploiting new technology. They added the capital T everywhere. Okay, once you do the capital T and you putting into that what you can say white color. So we are not able to read it, and if you're taking the printout also, it is not visible. Okay, so on the soft copy you will find this TT extra. So such a type of things we have to take care. And some cases, what we'll do, generally these shopkeepers, those who are selling PhDs and MPhil degrees, they generally do this type of activities. Okay, they will add some letters into that text, and it is in the white color will be there, so nobody will be able to identify it while taking the printout. So that cases you have to be take care. If you some thesis or some content, we should add it so with some letters. And another things which I can say, there will be too much quotations will be there. If you want to avoid that what you can similarity, if you put the quotations, it will not show similarity. There will be many quotations will be. Okay, that also they'll put into white letters, so it will also be not visible for anybody reading the soft copy of printout materials. So this is generally people are doing these things, and then intentionally they'll put some spelling mistake, because if they having many letters, some letters are get together, so it will be showing some similarity. To avoid that, there will be intentionally some letters they will be joined together and they publish like that. So that is also spelling mistakes people are doing it. And they will, some people are doing it, they will take copy and paste the whole paragraph or page as an image. Okay, generally if it's a thesis, we can identify it is an image content or the text content. So plagiarism generally they cannot read the text content which is having the image format. So in that cases, there will be the result will be there is no plagiarism. So that you have to take care if instead of that text material, if there is any content which is having but you can say in the image format. And some people will be doing with the special character symbols. Okay, so they will be replacing text, okay, with some special characters and symbols. So most of the software nowadays, it will be having the warning like the documents contains words and characters or symbols from different script writing. Okay, or and the turn thing to show if some cases it is there. Okay, so we have to be very much careful while we are checking the similarity from our student. Or Turnitin also giving such a type of warnings like that. Okay, there will be 141 suspect characters are there. That means the characters which is not be suitable there. Okay, so we can have a quick discussion or on the UGC's promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher education institutions regulations 2018. Okay, so it has been published on 23rd July 2018 in the Gazette of India. Okay, it is very clearly mentioned what percentage of similarity should be there in your papers and the thesis and your textbook and other materials. Okay, So UGC, what they made it, if there is any controversy regarding the plagiarism is there should be a departmental academic integrity panel that we are calling as a DAIP or institutional academic integrity panel, IAIP. And there, if you are, if there is will be any complaint, the DAIP department committee will be first they will verify, they will be checking it, and if there is any matter, it will recommend for IAIP. Okay. So in department academic integrity panel, there will be a chairman and there is a member from the academicians, senior academicians, and a member will work with anti-plagiarism rules. Then after these three persons, they found there is a any stuff in that particular complaint. So then they will recommend for IAI. There will be the chairman. Generally, it will be vice chancellor or a dean or senior academicians or a member, senior academician other than chairman, or another member is nominated by the head of the higher education institutions, and the third member will be the person who served with anti-plagiarism tools. Generally, we'll put in the librarian. Librarian is a member of this committee. So there will be 4-member committee for institutional academic integrity panel. Okay, and they will be working on it. So UGC also giving some guidelines in this case. That means what percentage should be percentage of similarity it can be acceptable for the research and other things. Okay, so for the thesis and dissertations, there will be similarity up to 10%. Okay, up to 10%, there is no penalty. We can submit if it is up to 10%. Or percent if the similarity is about 10% and up to 40%, and the student will ask to revise the script and submit a revised script and stipulated time for a period of 6 months. So he'll be asking to change that content and it have to be submitted within 6 months. If the similarity is 40 to 60%, then students shall be debarred from the submitting the revised manuscript. And the similarity is above 60%, then the student registration of that program shall be cancelled. Okay, so this type of 4-level similarity, that criteria they have given. Okay, up to 10%, there is no similarity. Up to 40%, they have to be submit a revised one, or up to 60, then they have to depart, and above 60, the student's registration should be cancelled. Student's registration should be cancelled. So these are the concept we can see the UGC plagiarism. Or if you think about the research publications, it is almost the level is same, 10%, 10 to 40%. Okay, there is no much changes, but the penalty is different. Up to 10%, there is no penalty. 10 to 40%, they are asked to withdraw the manuscript, and if the 40 to 60% shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript, and he shall be denied a right to 1 annual increment, and shall not be allowed to be supervisor of any new master's and PhD student for a period of 2 years. If it is above 60 plus. Or the level 3 similarity is above 60%, you should ask to withdraw the manuscript and shall be denied a right of 2 successive annual increment, and it shall not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new masters or PhD scholars. Okay, so these are the things which have to be taken care. What level of percentage should be there? So one thing you have to remember, one thing very simple funda is that if you are publishing your research papers or thesis or dissertation article, your similarity level should be less than 10%. And if you have similarity checks, exclusion from plagiarism, all quoted works reproduced with all necessary permission and attribution. Sometimes we having the quoted the work will be there, and we should have the permission for that. It will we have to be that plagiarism, that similarity will not be affected. or all references, bibliography, table of content, preface, acknowledgements. Okay, this also free from plagiarism issues. And all generic terms, laws, standards, symbols, and standard equations. Okay, so that also we can avoid. We can avoid. So recently, I wish to recently there was an issue in our university. I wish to share with you that when you submitted the thesis, okay, that library, if they checked that plagiarism, it was showing that 11%. Then the supervisor checked it and he said it's okay. Then we submitted the thesis and the thesis got awarded. After getting the award, then they found that the percentage of plagiarism level for submission is less than it is up to 10%. It is having 1% more. Then that created a problem for that student. Okay, so then they came to me, what can we do? Because submission is over, report is also be there. Then I suggested them, you can do one thing, because there are some contents that has been having excluded from the plagiarism. That means you can do that course, your review of literature chapter, and the references, bibliography, table of content, because sometimes even table of content, sometimes we show research methodology, if you write research methodology, if you're seeing analysis data interpretation, all these terms they showing us a similarity. So this type of generic terms and the references, bibliographies, reviews, these are exempted from the plagiarism. So once you removed all the things and took the plagiarism report, it was very less. It was around the 4%. So in that cases, we have to be very much clear about the librarian. What are the things which can be excluded from the plagiarism? These are some newspaper cuttings. We can see there are many vice chancellors and principals. Many people are accused for plagiarism and they lost jobs. Some of them are gone for jail also for because of this plagiarism issues. Okay, so it is a very serious issue. When maybe you are a research scholar or sometimes if you done it unintentionally or something. But once you become a good position as a professor or any other positions, and it is a very easy thing so people can create a problem for others. They can take out your publications, they can take out your thesis, they can take out your research papers, and themselves they can check the plagiarism. And if they found the plagiarism above this right, so they can be create the problem for them. So that means we have to be very much clear and very much care about dealing with this similarity and plagiarism issues. Okay, so one thing you have to we can take this right. One thing that's what Loyata Young said: giving credit where credit is due is a very rewarding habit to form. Okay, we should give the maximum credit to whom we are taking your references, your sources for your research work, and it's saying its rewards are inestimable. Okay, so it is you'll give a joy and it will give a pleasure to you if you acknowledge the work of others. Okay, these are the references which are consulted. Okay, thank you very much for joining with me. So if you have any doubt or any questions, you are most welcome. I think if you doubt.
Priya, are you there? Is Priya?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative presentation and a detailed overview on research ethics as well as on library ethics. So there is no questions from the participants, I think.
No, I have one.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Sir, one question has been come in the chat box. Please take it.
Okay. It is the chat.
Yes, sir. There is one question from Dr. Minimal. Sir, you mentioned about IFLA and ALA code of ethics.
Okay.
Like, we have any code of ethics from ILA or not?
No, in my knowledge, ILA is not mentioned any ethical code, but there was one committee which was formed to create a code for library ethics. But it was not being implemented. Okay, so we can follow that IL and ILA ethics. ILA, not ILA, not specific ethical code is not there. But there is one committee, I don't remember the name. There we are working for some committee that's formed that there will be a ethics for the librarians. There's a committee was they have suggested something. Okay, so let us explore that. It will not been officially, it was not accepted, all these things. Maybe soon we'll have that committee, but now UGC is taking care of all the things.
Okay, sir,
Question
I
is,
have one question.
so Gupta, what is the policy for excluding self-plagiarism from PhD thesis? Isn't it? Yes, yes. Hello.
Sir, I am audible. Sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, I have one question. As per UGC norms or others governing body, how much percentage are allow researcher to use self-published work in your research work?
No, as such in a UGC guideline, there is no mentioning like that. If you are using any content of your publications, your thesis, that you have to mention in that thesis. This party has to take in.
Actually, sir, because sometime I found that when researcher come to the library for a plagiarism check, I found 20 and 30% of the similarity report matching with self-published work.
Yes, yes. That will create issue for them.
That is,
Yes.
sir, what I should do.
In that cases, what we can do, we have to take a policy from your institution level. That means this type of plagiarism, which is showing as a self-plagiarism. So better to avoid. We should mention a notification. Better to avoid such type of.
Sir, your voice. Sir, your voice is not coming.
Don't take around 20%.
Sir, I think any technical issue. You are not getting your voice. Sir, Priya.
It is considered as a primary source.
Hello, Naushad
I
sir.
am audible.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, Naushad sir, you were not audible to us.
Hello. Yes, sir. I am.
Your voice
Okay,
was breaking.
Maybe connectivity problem will be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, we have one more question from Subhagyavati Gupta.
Okay.
What is the policy for excluding self-plagiarism from the PhD thesis?
Then actually, I told you, that self-plagiarism, better to avoid self-plagiarism. Okay. But if your thesis, the thing is that when you publish your articles with the thesis, that means thesis related work, better to avoid the actual content of your work, research work in your thesis. Sorry, in your other publications. Because thesis is considered as your primary publications and this is a primary work. And generally we will give the certificate. This thesis is not been published or anywhere. So better to avoid. Okay, some cases, if you publish your scale or if you publish your that content with some product, some experience, some your experiment or something like that, that content you can mention. Okay, but at any cost, the similarity when you are saying it should not be more than 10%. Okay, when it is a self-plagiarism also, because people, those who are in the committee members, they don't have much aware about the self-plagiarism. I remember, I know one of my friend, he lost his job because his work, which is he has published a article from his thesis. But the committee which formed to verify his work, they found that it is having 30 to 40% of plagiarism, and they removed from his job. Actually, it was the content, it was taken from thesis only. So generally, what will happen if there is self-plagiarism? So most of the people, those who are in the committee, they don't know more aware about all the things. So in that cases, be better to discourage the content which you are publishing again in your thesis. Or in that cases, you have to be mentioned, this is a content which are taken, and we have, generally we will say we have to be paraphrase the content. If you same content you are going to publish, you should change the verbatim. Don't publish the verbatim. You should change the language. You can take the idea. Hello,
Yes, sir.
is audible now?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay, okay. So,
Sir, ji, sir. Continue, sir.
Yes, yes. So it is better if you are taking some content from your earlier published work to your thesis. So if it is necessary, you have to be change the that verb. You don't make it verbatim. You should change the sentence, the content, and all the structure. And if you're taking some figure or something, that you have to be mentioned. This has been published in this paper. Okay. So similarity concept is there. UGC is always discouraging self-plagiarism, and the similarity should not be more than 10%. I told you, like one example I told you, it was 11%. They made it, and after by research report is all reports has come, and before conducting the Viva OC, the chairperson said it is having the 11%. It is not be. We are not allowing him to conduct the Viva. His Viva cannot be conducted because it is against the UGC rule. So such cases should be there. So at any cost, it should not be more than 10%. If your earlier work is there, you should paraphrase the content, take the ideas. Don't take as such the content from your earlier published articles. Or there is no any
Sir,
particular policy regarding this.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, please.
Sir, second question is related to quoted material. How much we can quote in our thesis because with the acknowledge to the original source, sir.
There is no UGC regulation. I think it's written like that. Okay, how much you can take it, but somewhere I read it is not be more than 30%. But UGC regulation, I think, is like that. How much
Actually,
quotations
the
you can
same
take it,
problem is
or
also
not
there.
like that.
Researcher quoting
Yes, yes.
30% and 50%.
No, it is because thesis should be original work. For supporting your findings, we can quote other people. Or not getting your PhD, we cannot quote for others. So better to discourage such type of practice. But thing is that if you are caught under quote, the similarity should not be there. It will not be there similarity. And as a being a librarian, we cannot do anything. We have checked the similarity. So under the quote, so it will not show any similarity there. So it is up to the supervisor whether they are allowing such much type of the others work
Supervisor
in his
allow.
season.
Sir, supervisor
Supervisor nothing
allow.
yes, we in our case we don't have any role in that case. If any issue will be there, in that case the researcher and the supervisor will be working on it. Or generally even our library also they are not giving any certificate as such. They will not put any signature or anything. They will just putting that
Sir, I
plagiarism
am
report.
putting signature. That's why I am worried.
That is why that case better to avoid such type of thing. We don't take a responsibility. Or if you're taking signature and other things, so it should be very clear this much wordings are there, this much content are there, this much chapter, all with your record. Okay, so that will be very much
Okay.
essential in future correspondences they may ask. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, there's one question, Shor Shuddhi, I think Minimal is asking. That means nothing is there, Shor Shuddhi in flipnet.org. So you will be getting that Shor Shuddhi website. There you will find different stateways that menus are there, stateways. So you can pick up your state. If it's Kerala, you can pick up the Kerala. And then Kerala, many
Okay.
institutions are there. University will be there. From the university, you
Hmm.
can approach. You can get every university, Shor Shuddhi, there is one login ID. You can approach the institutions. The login ID is there, email ID is given there.
Oh,
Okay,
that is
from
my
the
doubt. The personal login or institutional help is needed. That is my doubt.
institutional help is needed there. Institutional ID is there. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Karan. Okay.
So I think we don't have any more questions from our participants. Okay, sir, thank you so much for joining us today and lending your expertise to these 7 days faculty development program. Your words have truly enlightened us. I believe your words will continue to resonate with us long after today. Your insights have set the tone for acquiring skills that can inspire and empower every researcher and faculty member. So, all the ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, and other participants, what an incredible session it has been so far, delivered by Professor Naushad Ali sir. And today, through this session, Professor Ali has opened our research minds to be ethical while conducting our research as well as implementing innovative services into our libraries. Professor Ali has emphasized the importance of library ethics, research ethics, plagiarism rules, and good research environment within an organization. So with these words, we are grateful to our resource person, our faculty members, and other valuable learners for being here. So as we conclude the 6th day of the FDP, we encourage all the learners, educators, and other participants to stay connected, continue learning, and apply the insights gained from today's session.
Yes, Maya ma'am. Yes, Maya ma'am.
Hardik ji.
Conclude it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Priya,
Thank you.
for conducting the session. And before initiating the session of the related to vote of thanks, I would like to summarize today's session. As we all know that library and research ethics is very burning topic in today's contest. As discussed by Professor Naushad Ali sir, this is a need to follow library ethics in our library with our colleagues, with our staff, and we should also follow for the researcher also. To support our researcher, we have to conduct research and training program to aware the researcher about the research conduct. That this is the way that we avoid misconduct in the library and research activity. As far as concerned with research ethics, sir has aware us to follow 3 main research conduct. We should avoid falsification of research work. Second one is we should avoid fabrication of the data. Third is to avoid plagiarism. We should not produce other works without quoting or acknowledging the original resource. Apart from this, sir has described that why people are misconducting in research. Sir has mentioned various reasons which is occurs due to lack of awareness, but sometimes researchers do unintentionally also. But both the cases, the result goes to worse. So being a library professional, we should aware the researcher to avoid the research misconduct. And now we move to the vote of thanks. as we all know that saying thank you is a respectful way to show appreciation towards a person. But these words would be less for our today's speaker, Professor Naushad Ali sir, because his talk not only give us knowledge about research ethics, also taught us how being a library professional we can help researchers to conduct their research. We are very grateful to Professor Naushad Ali sir for accepting our invitation and sharing with us his valuable insights on research ethics. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence. And now I acknowledge my sincere thanks to audience, because audience or participants is the heart of the events. We are very grateful to our professional and pay my special thanks to participants for taking initiative in interactive session and motivate us by their presence. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful talk.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Kindly open your cam. I request all of the parts, ma'am. This is the last day for the session. So kindly open your camera and you can ask, you can discuss everything, each and everything regarding these sessions. And Professor Naushad sir is here. Actually, there is a FTP, and tomorrow it will be on presentations regarding the FTP. So kindly send us your presentation by
Rafiq ji,
30 PM.
let me allow to announce. Before ending the session, I would like to announce that presentation by the participant will be held on tomorrow. Or topic will be decided by you, and you will get maximum 5 minutes for your presentation. And the best presentation will receive a award, as our coordinator has already been shared to you. I am right, Rafiq ji?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
One more thing, no barrier of language. You can choose one of the Hindi or language or English language, whatever language you like for presentation. Please share your presentation topic with name to our co-coordinator to make a arrangement for tomorrow. I think this is enough. Anything want to share with the audience? Rafiq Sahab, you may.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I request all the participants kindly open their camera. Actually, we will take the screenshot. And the last, I request the Professor Naushad
Yes, sir.
sir, kindly, I request the Naushad sir, kindly, your concluding remark regarding this activity. Your
Session.
experience.
Ne-
Yes.
Maya ma'am, I have one query. Do we need
yes,
to
please,
submit
ma'am.
the whole PPT or just the topic of the PPT? Hello,
Pardon, ma'am.
ma'am, do we need to submit the whole PPT or we need to submit the topic of the PPT?
Only topic.
Okay, ma'am. The mail ID which you shared in the WhatsApp group, there we have to share a topic of the PPT, right?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So I think it is a good
Ma'am, please
initiative.
open your camera.
I think this is a good initiative from Bharat Academy and your Buddha University for giving an opportunity for the participants to having this presentations. I think it's a good initiative. I think there should be a prize for that best presentation. Rafiq bhai, is there any prize for best presentation, or they will be having the presentations?
Rafiq Saab, please share the prize.
Actually, we will
You will select the best presenter.
certificate.
Okay. You will give certificate if they are presenting accordingly. Okay, good. That's a good initiative. And one thing is Dr. Priya has given very good introduction as well conclusion, and Dr. Maya has made a good conclusion. because each and every point which I discussed and it with detail you have concluded. I think it's a very good initiative, and generally coordinators will not be available for the whole session, but I see the both coordinators are very sincerely attending the sessions and
Thank
giving
you.
their
Thank you,
feedback and
sir.
other things. It's a really inspiring.
Thank you so
And
much,
the
sir.
participants also very actively participating, and they attending the question and answer sessions also. I think it's a very good for our professions. There still we have very active library professionals in our professions. I request both of you, Rafiq and Maya, for organize such programs in future also. Okay, I think
Yes,
it will
sir.
be,
Sure, sir.
you will get to move with the more wider publicity. I think there will be lack of publicity there. That is very few people can join. Okay, good. I think I wish all the best, our all the participants and our coordinators and free also, because due to the vacations I'm not in Aligarh. Now I'm at Kerala, so a lot of powerful activities are busy with that. Still, I think try to make this session. Okay, if there is any shortcomings, so please pardon. Next time we can have a very good session, more informative things. Okay, so keep in touch if you have any doubt or anything, so we can have a more discussions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, see you tomorrow.
Okay. Sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Kishan?